Texas is on a postseason ride of their lives. The first time they've been this far. Hook 'em horns are in the house. And so are the defending national champions, ready to raise a ruckus and make more noise in Oklahoma City. Let's go, baby Boomer!
Here's to heart, the beat, the rhythm, the intensity.
Texas has the lead.
I'll take it all, just wait and see. I am the definition of a woman on a mission.
The fire that sparked Young is wild.
Absolutely destroys that one way back.
And blazing stronger than ever. Here's to a championship, the pulse of this moment.
Deep to left field. Goodbye.
Loud, but welcoming.
We are the most dangerous team in America.
I am the definition of a woman on a mission.
Inhale deeply.
Leaving it all out on the field for my last one.
And lock into this feeling.
Jocelyn Allo, number 120 of her career.
I am the definition of a woman on a mission.
Welcome to the Women's College World Series presented by Capital One. And time for the Championship Series. Game 1, best of 3 for the title. Texas and Oklahoma. It's an all Big 12 affair. Never in the 40-year history of the tournament has there been a final like this one. It is the 1 seed and the unseed to decide the title. Experience on the side of the Sooners, and Texas here for the first time trying to take home the trophy for the first time. And hi everybody, and welcome to the Championship Series Game 1 Best of 3. I'm Beth Mowens, along with our Olympic gold medalist Jessica Mendoza, Michelle Smith, our Emmy Award-winning Holly Rowe down on the field with us. We start out with the Oklahoma Sooners looking to go wire to wire for a 6th national championship. And Michelle, this is a team that can beat you from the top of the order to the bottom.
Well, the reason they have been number 1 from the beginning of the season is because of their offense. They can do it all. They hit for average, they hit for power. 147 home runs as a team. They put up big runs, 553. How about the just 59 for their opponents? 40 of their wins are run rules. And it's all led by Jocelyn Allo, the National Player of the Year, back-to-back. Her batting average in the regular season, 509. In the World Series, it only goes up. She's at 664. This is a complete Oklahoma team, and Jocelyn Allo is the leader of the pack.
And when it comes to the best ever, well, she matches up with some of the all-time GOATs, Michael Jordan, Tom Brady, and Babe Ruth, with the numbers that she has put up over the course of her career, looking to cap it with another national championship here this weekend. Now, Texas, on the other hand, well, they come in the ultimate underdog, Jess. They are hungry, they are determined, they are defiant, because they have been knocking out higher-seeded opponents from the start of this tournament till now.
To beat the best teams, too, you got to beat great pitching, and that's exactly what Texas has done to be able to get to this point. Go back to regionals in Seattle, and it was Gabby playing one of the best drop ball pitchers in the country. They got the dub there, on to Arkansas, and Shanice Dells, the SEC Pitcher of the Year, get here to Oklahoma City. It was Megan Faramo and the Bruins to take down, and then in the semis, Kelly Maxwell, 20-game winner. This has been Texas's MO. They are one of only 3 teams to beat Oklahoma this year. They're hoping to keep those upsets going in Oklahoma City.
The 77th meeting of this rivalry, none bigger. Coming up, Game 1, the unseed and the 1 seed. The latest looks like the greatest. A dream season come to life. And Patty's posse has all the power and passion, with a Norman conquest seemingly imminent. But then fate provides the perfect foil. A burr in their saddle, hyped and hungry, rewarded for risk, and playing with just enough house money to pull off an upset for the ages.
The NCAA Women's College World Series is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? And in part by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need.
First pitch on the way, and Janae Jefferson on the way. Holder of 11 Texas school records and top 10 all-time in NCAA history in hits. And she is right there atop the starting lineup, brought to you by Capital One. The Longhorns unseeded in this tournament, and they haven't mattered one bit about that as they have worked their way through this bracket to get to the finals. Mia Scott and Bella Dayton right there behind her in that batting order. The top has really been productive. They faced Hope Troutwine on Saturday, and Hope got the best of them. So the senior from the Austin area, Michelle, gets the call today.
She's one of the best in the business at limiting the free passes.
And for more on Hope Troutwine, here's Holly.
Well, as fate would have it tonight, the Sooners starting pitcher actually grew up a Texas Longhorn fan. She's from about 20 minutes outside of Austin, Texas, but they did not recruit her initially. She ended up at North Texas, where she had an incredible career. A 21 strikeout perfect game caught the attention of people nationally, including Patty Gasso. She originally took pitching lessons from the former Longhorn great Blair Luna, but now here she is in a Sooner uniform. The only thing standing between her and a national championship on the stage that she wanted, a bigger stage, is her favorite team growing up, where her parents both attended college, the Texas Longhorns.
Yeah, and one of her pitching coaches, a Texas grad, Blair Luna, who played here in 2013 at this Women's College World Series. Very reflective of the new day in college sports. Both starting pitchers today plucked out of the transfer portal. Haley Dolcini will get the start today for Texas. The transfer from Fresno State, who has come up huge for them this postseason. In for a strike. Patty Gasso told us job number one for Hope is to keep JJ quiet. Said she plays loud, and we have to keep the noise to a minimum.
She had the big home run off of Hope Troutwine just Saturday. Rise ball in her half.
Goes upstairs for that one, out to center field. Jada Coleman is there, one down.
On Hope Troutwine can be aggressive in the top of the zone because she's got one of the best rise balls in the business. She'll also throw that screwball away, but it's the rise ball up a two-seam pitch that is hard to identify. She gets a lot of chasing out of the zone, expanding the zone, but she lives on the edges. One of the things that I love is that when the ball is put in play, about 65% of the balls in play are hit up in the air.
Mia Scott dropping down the bunt. Janet Johns charges, 2 out. Strategy for Texas coming in. They dig the small ball because they've got tremendous speed on the bases. They love to put your defense under some pressure.
And I think another interesting stat about Hope Troutwine is that lefties hit significantly lower than righties do. It's something you don't always see from a right-handed pitcher. .093 for left-handed batters. How about a batting average against for the righties at 146?
And that's the rise ball away. That's one of the tougher pitches to hit for a lefty.
Oklahoma has their 4 lefties all lined up. 3 at the top, and then Lauren Burke out of the 9 spot. Here is Bella Dayton, batting .333 in this World Series. Hit a home run in their opener here against UCLA. They upset the 5 seed. And there's a base hit, dropping it down the line and right. Bella racing around for 2, and she slides in safe. 2-out double for Dayton.
Stay hot. The last time Oklahoma saw her, she was batting 9th. Now she's up in the 3-hole where she's been the last few days. She takes an off-speed pitch, just sits back enough. Finds grass over there, and the speed, turning on the Jets, taking 2 off of Riley Boone. An easy double for Bella Dayton.
Quickly, they have a runner in scoring position. They had a base runner in every inning on Saturday in the loss to Oklahoma, a 7-2 win for the Sooners. Pops out of the glove of Kinsey Hansen, and Dayton is now 60 feet away. Score that with a pass ball.
This is a rise ball. It looks like it's a little bit more inside on Hansen than what she thought it would be. Sometimes Hope Troutline's rise ball look a little bit like a screwball.
Alyssa Washington, the sophomore from Abilene, Texas, took over as the starting shortstop after a really rough first month for Texas. That helped settle their defense down. Swung a big bat for them in their super regional upset of number 4 seed Arkansas. Mike White in his 4th season at Texas, 5 trips to the World Series at Oregon, and then came to the 40 acres, and it's also his first time into the finals. Taking Texas there for the first time. Walk to Washington. Speed now on both corners with 2 outs for their slugger, Mary Iacopo. Very familiar with the Sooners. Her career against OU, she's batting .448. And they are trying to change the course of recent history. The Sooners in this rivalry have won 24 of the last 25 games. Texas got them once in the regular season. That snapped the Sooners' 40-game winning streak. One of just 3 teams this year to hand OU a loss.
Every at-bat of Iacopo's, the last time she faced Troutline 5 days ago, was inside right there. In fact, she had 3 straight groundouts to third base, jammed her, got in on her hands. So she talked yesterday to us about really trying to be early on time with that front foot to get her barrel out to that inside pitch.
Fights that one off up in N02.
And Jess, it was interesting when she did speak to us and we were asking her question. She was like, "Oh, I wish I had known this 4 years ago." You know, it's like you're in the 11th hour of her career.
Understanding her body, position she needs to get into. Great numbers, though, against Oklahoma. Beth, you mentioned it. Close to 500. Look at her off the plate now, too. 2 strikes. I mean, she is a mile away.
Ball.
Good numbers with runners in scoring position for Mary. One-two from Troutline. Tried to catch her away. 2-2.
Most of Hope Troutline's pitches on the outside corner go more up than out or away. Nice take by Mary on that outside pitch.
Here's a look at Patty Gasso, 28th season, winners of 5 national championships. Full count.
That's a great take. That pitch ends up continuing to go inside, and because Iacopo's so far off the plate, she starts to think about swinging, but watch it continue to run in on the hands. That screwball.
Early chance for the underdogs. 3-2 pitch, 2 outs. Fighting off another one inside.
almost feel like they should go away again because she's so far off the plate. The last one was kind of non-competitive up and away, but if she could clip the outside corner.
Yeah, Mary to have to go a long way to barrel it up.
Jen Rocha, the pitch caller for Oklahoma. Troutwine, so far in the World Series, has been throwing about 75% rise balls.
Ball.
In the dirt, and the bases are loaded for Texas here in the first inning. And here comes Courtney Day, who has homered in each of the last 3 games. In Monday's first semifinal game, Oklahoma-UCLA, the Bruins were able to jump in front, and they ended up winning that first game. As you check out Day's sweet swing.
Game 1 against Oklahoma State, a 3-run shot. Game 2 against Kelly Maxwell, another 3-run shot. Courtney Day has been on fire and doing a good job of protecting Mary Iacopo in the 5 spot.
Yeah, a quarter of her home runs have come in the last 3 days. Yeah. That power.
Well, it was her coach that lit a fire under her. She had a bad batting practice prior to their losers bracket game against Arizona. She was supposed to bat 7th, and Mike White played a hunch and dropped her down to 8th to see if he could get her a little angry going up to the plate, and it worked. And now she's hit him in 3 straight games. So he moved her up. She's number 6 today, and a big chance here early. Inside today, Troutwine, she'll hit high 60s.
Day continuing all these Texas hitters on the right side, off the plate, really challenging. Hope underneath their hands.
Well, and then taking when it's off the plate, because she's trying to pitch to where they're at, which is definitely a ball. That's not easy to do. I always hated moving around the box because then you have to adjust what you've known forever as your strike zone and make sure you take pitches like that. Texas doing a good job early of that.
Double and a couple of walks have loaded them up.
Ball.
Everybody in the house knows if you're going to beat OU, you got to outscore them. You got to put up a big number against a team that averages 9 runs a game. 3-1. Troutwine, the biggest night of her life, struggling to find that strike zone a bit here early. Dayton, Washington, Iacopo. And a 3rd straight walk will give Texas the lead as Bella Dayton trots in.
Coming back underneath the hands again. It's a screwball on that inner corner. It's in the river. Really good take by Courtney Day. We have seen earlier in the season, Hope Troutwine walked 5 consecutive batters in the OSU series down in Norman.
J.J. Smith golfs one out to shallow left. Coming on is Alyssa Brito, and she's got it. Texas leaves them loaded, but they get one in to grab the lead on the top seed. One 0 Texas. Oklahoma picking up the bats for the first time, and that means our first look at Jocelyn Allo. The starting lineups brought to you by Capital One. Allo right there in the 2 spot, 120 career home runs. That's the most ever. 3 seasons of 30 plus. Nobody's ever done that before, and she is enjoying the first ever season with somebody hitting 500 and bashing over 30 home runs. Haley Dolcini is the senior from Ferndale, California, who will face the Sooners for the 4th time this year.
Oh, it's the screwball. That's what she's been known for. And you watch it against lefties away, but it also will run under the hands of righties. She'll throw it to both sides of the plate, which is interesting, but it is her go-to pitch, whether you're taking it for a strike or swinging through it. A lot of light break, and even though hitters know it's coming, she still has had a lot of success against it.
Critical for Haley today to, as best she can, get through the top 4 in this lineup. They are all first-team All-Americans, and it starts with Jada Coleman. The fearsome foursome in this World Series have hit 8 home runs and driven in 26 runs. That's in just 4 games. Coleman in the leadoff, batting 500 here at the World Series. And down 0-2 to Dolcini. Out of the Colony, Texas. And a base hit. And with Coleman's speed, that'll be extra. Stand-up double to lead off for Oklahoma, and the tying run in scoring position immediately.
And Jada Coleman is one of the best fire starters in that #1 position. This is an 0-2 pitch. This is a screwball in the outside corner. Look at the reach. That ball is almost in the other batter's box, and she goes and gets it, pops it between Burke and Dayton. And that is her 5th hit of the season.
And so now the strategy, we'll find out a little bit about Texas here with first base open. Do you put Alo on, or do you pitch to her, pitch?
Yeah, I think you pitch around. You don't intentionally walk her, but you unintentionally walk her, and you make someone else beat you.
Yes, put her on. That is, I know Tiara Jennings is so good. I get it behind her, but let's be real. This one's the greatest. And you don't want to get beat.
Well, and that's what happened when they played on Saturday. They pitched to her and she hit a 2-run shot with a runner on second.
In fact, both of these hit home runs. Alo gets a hold of one, and Oklahoma grabs the lead. A 2-run Jallo shot. And she ties her own record from last year's World Series with her 4th home run here.
It almost looked identical to her last home run against Dolcini. Same situation. Should have put her on. Don't put her on in this one either. A screwball. She gets inside. She keeps that front side open. She even talked to us yesterday about knowing they're going to try to get in under my hands. I'm going to make sure to clear my hips so my hands can get there, and she does just that.
Well, it was the same exact scenario in the game earlier here a couple days ago. Runner on second. Opportunity to not pitch to her anything around the zone. They pitch to her, and she hits a 2-run shot.
Jocelyn Alo now in her last 5 plate appearances. Today and on Monday, 5 for 5 with 3 home runs. And that's number 121 for the folks.
They're starting to hand them to cousins and aunts and uncles. There's so many.
3 batters, 3 hits for the Sooners.
And Dolcini has thrown a lot of pitches in this postseason. Typically her velocity is up in the high 60s. It's lately been in the low 60s just because of her workload.
That's the sweetest swing that we've ever seen. Jocelyn Alo
That front side. I mean, it's just such a beautiful setup. I mean, one of the easiest swings you'll see in the game, but the most powerful.
Growing up in Honolulu, Hawaii, on the north shore of Oahu, Dad Levi spent a lot of time with his daughter, pitching to her, taking her down to the batting machine, honing her mental skills. And then as she got a little older, they would fly to the mainland, stay with friends so she could play travel ball in California and around the country. Now he's leading the cheers for OU. Here's Grace Lyons.
Ball.
Fireworks early here in game one of our best of three Women's College World Series Championship Series, the 17th year of this format.
Ball.
Last year, the Sooners defeated Florida State in 3 games for their 5th national championship in what has been a decade of dominance. This is their 7th appearance in the finals under Patty Gasso in the last 10 seasons.
A rare sacrifice.
Playing with what she calls the championship mindset, and it has served her team well, along with her son and assistant coach JT Gasso, who handles the hitters. Lions, that one will stay in the park. Lauren Burke under it. 1 down, and down to Holly Rowe.
Well, you talk about those 121 home runs now for Jocelyn Allo. So I did some checking. Her dad, Levi, does store all of the balls in his dresser. They are working on a nice trophy case because now they need somewhere to put all of her home run balls and the 2 national player of the year trophies. He marks each ball so he can record all of those, and true dad, keeping it in the dresser.
I love it.
But what's incredible too is it doesn't take her a second or third time through the batting order. The most home runs she has hit of those 121 have come in the first inning of games. Here's Alyssa Brito, who hit 3 home runs off the Longhorns during their regular season series.
And I think what's baffling too about Jocelyn is that a 509 regular season average coming into today. How about in the World Series? It's 664. She gets better as the competition gets better.
16 plate appearances, Smitty. She's been on base 12 times and has only gotten out 4 times in those 16 plate appearances. Puts in the work, tons of film study. Tons of time in the cages. Brito back to Dolcini. They'll go for the lead at second, and it's bobbled on a low throw to Alyssa Washington. Two on board with 1 out. Fielder's choice, and then an E1.
Dolcini, typically a pretty good fielding pitcher, and just throws this one away, trying to get it to Washington. Not able to short hop that.
So a couple of things troublesome for Texas. They've gotten through this big postseason run with quality starts and strong defense.
It's the 74th error of the year. And when Texas plays clean defense, they're a completely different team.
Combo that with the fact that they got a run in the first inning, but they left the bases loaded, had a chance to put up a big number. And now the Sooners have responded. Here's Kinsey Hansen.
This has been a part of the lineup that has struggled, though. I know we talked about Oklahoma 1 through 9, the regular season, the ridiculous numbers, but Kinsey Hansen followed by Taylon Snow, these two hitters, about 200 and below.
Dolcini to second for 1, but again, a little offline, so Janae Jefferson could not turn the double play. Again, uncharacteristic. They've been turning a ton of them here at the World Series. 2 down.
Well, again, this should be a double play, an easy turn, but Dolcini to throw wide. Good job by Jefferson to hold this, and you're right, they've turned 10 double plays in the postseason, 27 on the year. But the first throw is the most important throw if you're going to turn that double.
This would be a big win here for Texas, actually, if they can keep Jennings away from home plate and hold the Sooners to a pair. Senior from Chino Hills gets the start at first base with a couple on. 2 runs already in on the Jocelyn Alo home run.
Well, and Oklahoma knows this isn't enough. I mean, the way that Hope Troutwine has been struggling, the walks, not a lot of swing and miss. Texas has been getting to her, too. I mean, this is what looks to be already in the first inning, a lot of run production.
Snow lifts one. Back it goes, and that's out of here. Second home run of the inning. Her 4th of the season makes it 5-1.
And a bat that's been quiet in this Oklahoma offense. Watch her kind of step across, getting on that line. The pitch is down. She goes down and gets this and drives it out. The power from the unpredictable, too, from the Sooners. Jocelyn Alo first, but Taylon Snow. Beth, you mentioned it, only 3 home runs all season long, and she gets her 4th one here.
And Jess, that's that screwball that Dolcini will throw on her non-arm side of the plate. Doesn't move a whole lot. It just gets whacked.
Her first home run since the middle of March. And she busts this open for Oklahoma, and apparently a pitching change already. They average 2.5 home runs per game. They've already got a pair early in game 1 of our championship series. And the freshman Sophia Simpson will trot in from the bullpen. We will take a break and be right back to Oklahoma City after this. Hey, we're back here tomorrow for Game 2 of the Championship Series. Texas at Oklahoma, 7:30 Eastern on ESPN2. The If Necessary Friday night, 8:30 Eastern on ESPN. Both games are also streaming live on your ESPN app. Jocelyn Alo and Taylon Snow hitting home runs here in the first inning, and that facilitates the pitching change for Texas. Haley Dolcini goes out. Sophia Simpson, who has thrown 1 2/3 innings here at the World Series, will come on. Brilliant, however, in their super regional clincher in Fayetteville to knock out Arkansas to get here.
Yeah, Simpson, the freshman, has a lot of different tools. Obviously a big environment for her, but she threw in a big environment against Arkansas in Game 3, had a shutout against an amazing offensive team in Arkansas because she has one of the best changeups in the business. Look at the way this pitch is really going to move. It starts to get up in your eyes and then just falls off the table. So a lot of great movement, but everything is based around that changeup. She'll hop it in the dirt at times purposely, and then she'll also throw it on the corners inside and outside. She can move the ball up in the zone, down in the zone, but everything is set up off of that very deceptive changeup.
And now Mike White just talked to the home plate umpire, and now they have brought Simpson back over to the Texas dugout. And I think it may just be a bathroom break. Well, and now we're being told that Sophia had some blood on her uniform, so they have to change the uniform. And so that's why we have the delay here in the first inning with Oklahoma doing some damage already. Beth Mowens along with Michelle Smith and Jessica Mendoza. We talked about it right from the start. You had a chance to walk Michelle. Jocelyn Allo with first base open. Texas chooses to pitch to her and she goes yard.
Yeah, I thought they should have done it earlier in the World Series as well. First base is open. Make somebody else beat you. We know that Jocelyn can beat you. She's shown that through her career. Walk her and make someone else beat you.
Well, and this batting order is so good, but she is clearly above the rest. I mean, above the rest that we've seen historically, and the fact that she's sitting on a pitcher that she's seen so often. That's why there's so much scoring going on early in this game.
And then when they can get another one from Taylon Snow. Now Hope Troutwine has to feel a little bit better after a shaky start. She had 3 walks.
Yeah, absolutely. Hope Troutwine has very good movement. If there's one little issue she's had this year, it has been walks. She had 5 consecutive walks against Oklahoma State about a month ago. She just needs to be able to put that ball now in the zone. She's got a nice lead. And when you're a rise ball pitcher, that is a huge, huge bonus.
Watch how Texas has adjusted. I mean, they have backed off that plate. And I think the biggest struggle right now for Hope is to find the strike zone, even though Texas is far away from it.
All right, if you're a Longhorn fan, of course you know that they have been facing deficits before. In fact, they were down to Oklahoma State in the semifinals a couple of nights ago, 5-0, and rallied to come back to win it 6-5. So it's not a team that's going to get down easily and not come back up. But they're up against it right now with a couple of home runs here in the first.
On a screwball in the inside corner to Jocelyn Allo. She says, hey, I've seen this before. I'm going to take it yard. And then how about Taylon Snow? Her 4th of the year. She just gets all into a 1-1 pitch, a screwball on her inside corner as a lefty. Barrels that up and sends it out.
Look at that number in the first inning of ball games this season. Now outscoring opponents 116-6. And these 2 home runs give them 149 for the season. Statistically, believe it or not, they're a bit short from what last year's team did in winning the national championship in terms of batting average and slug and home runs, but this lineup can get you. Holly?
Well, you see Jocelyn Allo hitting in that second spot. She is so contagious with her hitting. Her other players in the lineup have said she's such a mental hitter that when they see what she does, it is so contagious through the rest of us. Patty Gasso calls it consecutiveness. I think it's a made-up word, but the way they're able to put those hits together, those home runs together, and that contagious mental batting average and mental approach at the plate of Jocelyn Allo goes through this entire Sooner lineup. She's come by it honestly, though. Not only was she hitting 1,000 balls a day as a kid, but she's obsessed with film study. She said her sophomore year in college, when she finally saved up enough money to get an Xbox, which would help her toggle back and forth with the game video, that's where she really started to tune in her eye at the plate. And that eye at the plate is consecutiveness in the lineup for the Sooners.
Yeah, the Xbox not to play games, but to watch softball games and study swings. Patty's good at those kinds of words. Consecutiveness. Remember the last time they went back-to-back to win national championships, it was clutchness.
Clutchness.
Yeah, they've had some of that too over the years. Well, the good news is that Sophia Simpson appears to have the new uniform ready to go. Seven have come to the plate and a couple out, so she will face the number 8 hitter, Jana Johns. Followed by Riley Boone. They've flipped spots in the order tonight.
Ball.
There it is immediately, first pitch, that 53-mile-an-hour changeup.
Johns rips that one foul. She transferred in from South Carolina a few years ago, where she was all SEC, as well as on the defensive team, has really valued her relationship with their former third baseman and national champion 2 times. Sydney Romero has been a big help for Jana in the field and at the plate. Still a volunteer for OU. And that's in, and it hits her. 9th coming up to the plate here in the first inning.
It's a rise ball. Just gets away from Simpson.
That is the 96th time in her career she's been hit by a pitch. And that's still only good for second all time.
That's a lot.
Here's Riley Boone.
Ball.
Starting out in right field, batting .455 here at the World Series.
She's been the party starter. That's what Patty Gasso has called her down here at the bottom.
I think she's late to this party, Jess.
Oh, well, maybe she's going to start an after party.
An after party.
The bats that she's had in this Women's College World Series kind of go ignored because they haven't been the big home runs, but in the innings that Oklahoma has not scored, it's been her bat at the bottom to get Jada Coleman and Jocelyn Allo up to bat.
Well, it was a nice moment talking to some of her teammates the other day, talking about Riley, and they said, well, we like bunts too, just home runs. Taking an advantage of an opportunity to start after the departure of Mackenzie Donahue, who was one of their star players here at the World Series last year. Taking that opportunity and has run with it. Couple on board, and the top of the order will come around again. So Simpson comes on, hits a batter, and walks a batter. Coleman doubled in the first, and that will bring Jocelyn Allo into the on-deck circle as well.
What makes Jada Coleman so good, and we saw it with 2 strikes in this inning, her first at bat, is she hits pitchers' pitches. She can get her barrel to just about anything.
Oh boy, and does Mike White have to go and make another change here with the problems that Sophia Simpson is having finding home plate? They have also thrown pitcher Estelle Check here at the World Series. So Simpson departs, and the third pitcher of the inning about to come on, and it's Logan Hewlin. Back in a moment. Hey, look who's in the house today. Trae Young, former Oklahoma basketball star, now in the NBA in Atlanta, two-time All-Star in the association. Here to support the Sooners. And, well, they have given him plenty to shout about so far today. 5 runs in off of a couple of home runs. This is already the 3rd pitcher for Texas, facing Jada Coleman, who is up for the 2nd time this inning. 2 on with 2 outs.
Ball.
Haley Dolcini faced 7. Sophia Simpson came on and faced just a couple. And after 2 free passes was lifted. And now Logan Hewlin, an inning against Oklahoma on Saturday in their first game here. And for a strike, and the throw down to second goes all the way out to center field, and Janet Johns to third, Riley Boone to second. The 2nd error of the inning for Texas.
I'm trying to figure out what she was throwing behind. Janet Johns wasn't off the bag too far, maybe trying to make something happen, but this isn't the thing, and right now it's getting sloppy. This is what we saw from Texas in the regular season. The worst fielding percentage actually in the Big 12, but it had changed here in the postseason. They were clean, playing good defense.
And they give them 2 errors on that play. E2 and an E5, as both base runners were allowed to move up a bag.
Now Mia Scott kind of dropped a ball that should have been caught for that 2nd error.
What a start for Oklahoma. Here's the 3-1. Coleman smacks that to Washington. It's short. And they finally are able to record the last out. Big inning for the Sooners. 5-1 lead. Led by Jocelyn Allo, the 2-time National Player of the Year.
Home run 121, Jocelyn Allo keeps it going. They decided to pitch to her. She makes them pay, gets the Sooners on the board. And they're winning right now, 5-1.
Welcome back to the Women's College World Series presented by Capital One. Well, for Oklahoma's Jocelyn Allo, the home run queen, she is one of the most unique athletes we've ever seen. How about this? When she was young, she started wrestling at age 5. It's a big sport in Hawaii. She promised her dad she would stick with it until she won a state championship. And here she is making good on that promise to her father, getting the state championship. She said she recently went back and watched this video and she saw her arms and was like, that's the shape I've got to get back into for my senior season. She knew what was on the line. She knew it was big. And how about that? Watching video of yourself to motivate you for your senior season. Jocelyn Allo, one of those unique all-around athletes we've ever seen here in softball.
Well, the numbers speak for themselves, but I think we've had the discussion about the best team ever, the best hitter ever, and with the parity and the depth of talent around the country right now, nothing against the teams in the 80s and the 90s, they could rip, but I mean, what she's been able to do these last few seasons, unprecedented.
It helps so much to the lineup that she is in. If she was on another team, and we've seen some of the best hitters in the game, I mean, they just continuously get walked. And Allo, because she's got Tiare Jennings behind her and a whole slew of hitters, has been continued to get pitched to.
Big inning here for Texas because they got a run up in the first. Hope Troutwine was struggling to find the strike zone, so can they get some sort of response to that 5-run first inning? Not there. Katie Simmons strikes out, 1 down. First for Troutwine.
Troutwine using that 2-seam rise ball at the top of the zone. Simmons tries to check it, but just can't hold up. And that's the pitch that
Hope needs to just throw with no fear. High fly ball out to Coleman in center. 2 outs. Lauren Burke is retired. And here comes Janae Jefferson for the second time at the top of the order. You know, we talk a lot about the great Kat Osterman, the best arm in Texas history. They retired her number earlier this year during the regular season. Janae probably would be next up. The best hitter in Texas history. Out of Humboldt, Texas.
Her hands. I mean, we saw her last at bat. She got to a rise ball with 2 strikes. It was over her head. I mean, she lined out to center, but the fact that she hit it, she just laid off the last one. She hit a home run off of Hope Troutwine on a rise ball, just getting her barrel to it.
One and one to Janae. Over the course of her career, over 200 games at Texas, she has a hit in 82% of those games. And has added a little bit of pop in the postseason. After 3 regular season home runs, she has hit 4 here in the NCAA tournament. 1 off of Hope Troutwine over the weekend. Coleman coming on, got it. 3 up, 3 down. And Jocelyn Allo will lead off for the Oklahoma Sooners. Home run her last at bat. What she got coming up next? Allo gets a hold of one, and Oklahoma grabs the lead. Snow lifts one. Back it goes, and that's out of here. Five to 1, Oklahoma with a lead over Texas after those 2 home runs in the first inning. And Michelle, that moves Jocelyn Allo into a tie with Leah Bratz for second all-time in career RBI behind Jenny Dalton.
Yeah, and if you look at Jenny Dalton, Leah Bratz, Laura Espinoza, those are some of the best hitters ever for that Arizona team in the mid-90s.
Teammates.
Yeah, I was going to say they all played together.
Yeah.
Talk about protection.
Talk about table setters getting on base for them. I mean, wow.
So Allo now has a shot at not only +1 in home runs, but RBI as well. That's a record that Jenny Dalton left with us in 1996. Been around a while. And Jocelyn will lead off facing Hewlin. That first home run hit off of Haley Dolcini. Logan Hewlin is the 3rd pitcher of the game already. .667 batting average in the NCAA tournament.
Ball.
It's crazy, you know, continuing to pitch to her and how Texas has chosen to pitch to her. Now, of course, they're going away. We saw the last 2 times they faced her trying to come inside.
Ball.
That screwball against Haley Dolcini. And take it back even to Saturday, that's on the left. Tonight's on the right. Watch the pitch, the grip, everything. Location. I mean, this looks like a mirror image. No, those are 2 different, 5 days apart. They came back tonight. Same situation too. Runner at second, base open. Same result, both home runs.
Two and two.
And that's one of the things I know Holly talked about with watching video, but what you understand about your opponents is the sequencing of how they're going to pitch you. So yeah, you know your body, you know what you can do, but also being prepared for a specific pitch. visualizing how you're going to hit it. I mean, Jocelyn Allo was telling us yesterday exactly how she was going to hit Dolcini, and then she did it.
Ball.
Full count.
Elite at being able to pick up spins as well. You know, that's a big part of it, being able to read the pitch, the spin, which direction is it going to go, and then immediately out of the hand making the decision, is it in the zone or out of the zone.
Outside the bag at third. I like too the fact that Jocelyn, that there's not a whole lot of ego there. She's inquisitive. She loves picking the brain of other people. She's loved watching some of the all-time greats.
You got a shift on her too. Only one infielder on the right side of the field.
Allo beats the shift. Base hit. Thought about two and she'll go for it. And she slides in safe. A hit in her last 6 at-bats.
And this just speaks to her ability to cover the zone. This pitch is on the inside corner, but she's just going to barrel it up and hit it right back up the middle. So she doesn't try to pull it and get around it. She keeps her hands inside it. Nice flat barrel, hits it hard. Bella Dayton, a little bit of a bobble. She sees that and decides to go into second. That's going to be her 13th double of the year.
Tiare Jennings. Jennings singled and scored in the first. Sooners really like this lineup with her behind Jocelyn. It's been that way about half of the season, and the batting averages for both are up, the productivity for both up since they tag team opposing pitchers this way.
Ball.
And what's scary is, if you break down the numbers, Jennings' first 2 years statistically are better than Allo's.
Yeah, that is scary. When you look at Allo, Jennings, and Lyons, those three together coming into today's game had 81 home runs. So now they're at 82 for the three of them. That's over half of the home runs in those three spots.
May have happened a few times back in the glory days. You know, UCLA in the 80s dominated this tournament. Arizona had that great run in the 90s where you had a few, maybe 3 or 4 All-Americans in your lineup, but to get 4 of them in a row here at the top, quite a luxury for Patty Gasso. One-two from Hewlin. Washington deep in the hole. The one hopper got her. Good scoop by J.J. Smith, one down.
Well, and earlier we were talking about Jocelyn Allo and the runs that she creates, and how do you replace that at some point? I mean, it will be interesting.
Next year?
Yeah.
Huh? Here's Grace Lyons, flew out to left. Texas trying to settle things down a bit after that shaky first inning. Lions chase that one up, 0-2.
Ball.
Lions out to left. Allo being waved home, and she will come in to score. RBI single, Grace Lyons, and it's 6-1.
This is the 4th hit already in this game with 2 strikes. And this is where Oklahoma too, just, I mean, the counts. This is a pitcher's pitch. It's the knees and below, a little bit over the middle of the plate, but again, a body positioning that Lyons gets herself into with 2 strikes. Jocelyn Allo just previously 2-strike hit as well. You'll see different swings and different counts and an understanding of what they're gonna see.
5th RBI of this World Series for Grace. And with 1 out, it's Alyssa Brito. Fouls one in the direction of Patty Gasso, who is a Southern California girl, daughter of a single mom who grew up, you know, in those households with a few kids and a single parent. You know, she learned to fight for things at an early age, a major competitor, and obviously that has translated to the types of players that she recruits and the way that she and the coaching staff prepare them for the big moments like this. Said she always wanted to be a teacher. And after getting a little too obsessive, in her words, about softball 24/7, learned to find the proper perspective, and the focus became all about changing lives and changing them through softball.
Just creating an atmosphere for these athletes to come in. A lot of them are far away from home, but have that family feel.
A lot of Texans and Californians on these rosters. Let's send it down to Holly.
Well, guys, in between innings, Texas coach Mike White got on his team. He gathered everyone together, and you could see him delivered an impassioned speech. He is a huge competitor, a 6-time world champ as a fast pitch pitcher himself, and he laid it on them. But at the end, he got people smiling. And one of the players, as he walked away, said, "All right, that's it. The past is the past. The present is now." He wants them focusing not on that disastrous first inning, but coming back and competing. Down 5 runs, that's not insurmountable for a Texas team, but he needs them to put that first inning to bed.
Oh, and I like that, Holly, because again, this is a series. So yeah, this was 1 inning of a series that has a lot to play out. And if you're able to flush that, get rid of it, and start new from the 2nd inning on, it can help pay dividends as this series rolls on.
Comeback wins in the regionals, again in the supers, and already that come from behind win here in the national semifinals when they rallied from down 5-0. as Hewlin gets the strikeout of Brito.
This is a high changeup up in the zone. Hewlin gets the call, but that is a changeup. Flip change coming in. Hewlin a transfer from Houston.
Yeah, Mike White, his transformation as a head coach has really been a key cog in their postseason drive, matching that intensity with also moments of positive energy and good vibes that his team has really thrived on.
Ball.
Ironically enough, it all starts with his mom too. He told us she was a catcher back in New Zealand, and one of the reasons he got into softball as a youngster.
Such a popular sport in New Zealand. Both his mom and dad played, and sister and brother. And
New Zealand, one of the best men's fast pitch teams in the world. Typically always in the top 3. Canada as well. Great men's fast pitch program.
1-0 pitch to Kinsey Hansen. 1 on with 2 out. Another run in here in the second. The RBI single from Grace Lyons to score Jocelyn Allo, who has a hit in her last 6 plate appearances. What was the trigger? The strikeout against UCLA in their first semifinal loss when she had a chance to tie the game.
Yeah, Holly
Azevedo got her.
Yeah.
Haven't been able to keep her off the bases since.
Probably wore out that Xbox. Forward, rewind, forward, rewind.
Bruins got into the semifinals, so did Oklahoma State. Florida was here, Arizona was back. Northwestern a return for the first time in a long time. Congratulations to all 8 teams that made it here, down to the final 2. Game 2 tomorrow night.
Kinsey right now, timing's just been off. You tell she's been frustrated. Patty Gasso actually pulled her to the side when she was on deck, kind of talked to her for a little bit, trying to get this bat going. One of the best hitters here at the World Series last year for them.
Yeah, the catchers here, Hansen and Elam, are just 2 of 14 so far in the World Series. Trying to get that one spark to get them going. Two pitch. Talon Snow hit a home runner last time up, a 3-run job in the first. Over that on-deck circle now. Hansen right into the glove of Mia Scott at third. Side is retired. Good start for the top seed, the Oklahoma Sooners. A 6th spot on the board, showing that home run power from Jocelyn Allo and Talon Snow.
Texas had a chance to really break this thing wide open back in the first inning. 3 consecutive walks with 2 outs. One of them scored a run, and it felt like Texas was really going to break it open with the bases loaded. J.J. Smith came up. First pitch after 3 consecutive walks, flies out to left. Kind of felt the anticipation, all the energy for Texas go out with that swing. One of those things you look back on, a chance for Texas to really score a lot more runs there.
Another run in the second for Oklahoma, so the 6-1 advantage. 2-3-4 coming up. Scott, Dayton, and then Alyssa Washington. Mia grounded to third, her first time up. Coming in with a 7-game hitting streak. already has a 4-hit game here in the World Series. Went 4 for 4, drove in a couple of runs against UCLA. Beat the Bruins, then lost to Oklahoma and came out of that loser's bracket with wins over Arizona, and then beat Oklahoma State twice in the national semifinals to get here. In this epic postseason run to become the first unseeded team to ever reach the finals. During the regular season, they had 5 ranked wins. In the NCAA tournament, they have 7 ranked wins. Including beating 3 of the top 10, Arkansas, UCLA, and Oklahoma State.
Well, they really talked about midway through the season, they started to get their chemistry kind of come back together. Had a really rough tournament in Clearwater, went 0-5, and then a game against Minnesota. They were down by 5 runs. They ended up pulling back, tying the game. Didn't win it. There was a time, dead drop time.
Got to get to the airport on a Sunday, getaway day.
But they said that the chemistry of the team, really believing that things were starting to come together, was a huge turning point for them. And this is a team that is extremely dangerous when they play good defense. They've got a number of arms. They can put runs up.
Scott goes opposite. Brito in foul territory. 1 down. Women's College World Series Championship Series continues tomorrow night, 7:30 Eastern on ESPN2. For more information, go to ncaa.com. It's the official online home for all 90 championships. Best of 3, and well, what does it mean to win game 1? In the history of this tournament, the game 1 winner has gone on to win the championship 75% of the time. However, that was not the case last year when the Sooners lost game 1 and then took games 2 and 3.
It happened to Michigan, I think, in 05.
Yeah, they had the very first championship series, say.
Alabama in 2012.
Trivia time with Aunt Smitty.
Sit back in her rocker. Story time.
Taryn Mowat, Arizona in 07. It's the 10-year anniversary of that Alabama Dancing in the Rain team with Caleb Rowe and the J Train. How about Emily Carasoni's grand slam and Tiffany Howard's catch?
Yeah, that was a big one.
That was for Auburn against Oklahoma, and the Sooners came back to win game 3 in 2016. There you go.
Just typing them in as you were saying them.
But otherwise it's a good idea to win game 1.
Yes.
Hope Troutline really attacking these lefties. Smitty, you talked about it earlier. She's got numbers better against lefties, which is unusual for a right-handed pitcher. But the reason why, that outside rise ball that she'll throw, sometimes screwball, scries, or whatever you want to call it, it's moving up and away to these lefties. A tough pitch to hit. She'll probably go back to it here, 2 strikes. It's how she got Mia Scott out.
1-2 to Bella Dayton.
And that, to me, is how you get to Hope Troutline. She has non-competitive pitches, meaning out of the hand, you know they're a ball. And it helps because she gets into hitters' counts frequently. Just up to Texas to be able to maximize, like we saw J.J. Smith swing at a pitcher's pitch, be able to get those hitters' counts.
Yeah, and then when you do get that pitch, you can't miss it. You have to square it up. You can't foul it back. And I mean, every athlete knows what that's like. When you get that pitch and then you foul it back, you're like, oh.
Bella just got one right there because Hope's going to go back away. It's a lot harder to hit.
Dayton gets a hold of one. That's a fair ball. Bella, extra bases. Stand-up double for Dayton. And the Horns have a runner in scoring position with one out here in the third.
Kinsey wanted this away. Look, it ends up middle. Right down the middle of the plate. It's moving up. The Bella Dayton, as hot of a bat as she's been swinging too, gets on top of this one. All the way to the wall, stand-up double.
I'll bring up Alyssa Washington. One of the 3 walks in that first inning.
Nice changeup by Hope Troutwine. You don't really see her use that pitch a lot, but it is very effective when she can throw that low in the zone.
Hope is 5-0 in this postseason. She has 3 wins already here at the World Series. Last year, another transfer, G. Juarez, went 5-0 in the World Series, the MOP. Oh-2 to Alyssa. Waits on it, drives it out to center field. Back goes Coleman. 2 down. Holly Rowe.
Well, we told you about Hope Troutwine, the Sooner pitcher growing up close to Austin. Well, Mike White saw her name in the portal, and he went after her hard when she transferred out of North Texas. He said, we really wanted her. They even got her to get a picture with Matthew McConaughey, the Minister of Culture for the Longhorns. That wasn't enough to close the deal, and as he's standing here in this box watching her pitch, I know he's like, oh, wish we had her.
So many transfers. We saw both starters in this game, Dulcini and Troutwine. Dulcini from Fresno State.
Oh, Mary Iacopo hit by a pitch, so a couple on here for Texas trying to get something going. And for the second time, their hot home run hitter in this tournament comes to the plate with runners on base. Courtney with the RBI walk in the first.
Ball.
So the same situation here for the Longhorns that they had in that first inning, with J.J. Smith on deck. Day. Did she get enough of it? Back to the wall, and it will stay in. Brito with room. A deep drive and a threat for Texas, denied by the Sooners.
Here's to that home run momentum.
Sun has set here in Oklahoma City. Game 1 of our Champ Series between Texas and Oklahoma. Sooners seeking a 6th national title. Texas here for the very first time. Beth Mullins, along with our Olympic gold medalists, Michelle Smith, Jessica Mendoza, Holly Rowe, down on the field for us tonight. And those guys believe the Sooner magic is real. They have hit a couple of home runs tonight. Jocelyn Allo, a 2-run homer. Taylon Snow, a 3-run shot. Both back in that first inning. And here is Snow to lead it off. 7, 8, and 9 coming up. Sooners sent 10 to the plate back in that first inning. Jada Coleman came up twice. Logan Hewlin back out there for the third inning. She is the third pitcher of the game. They went through a couple in the first inning. Haley Dolcini got the start. Sophia Simpson and now Hewlin. Junior out of Dripping Springs, Texas. Transferred in from Houston. That one misses away. Top seed has won this tournament 6 times, including Oklahoma last year. Lines that one out to left. Burke, 1 down. Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Heading back to Madison Square Garden, the Rangers and the Lightning even at 2 apiece. So game 5 from the Garden tomorrow night, 8 Eastern on ESPN and ESPN Plus. Beautiful look at Hall of Fame Stadium here in Oklahoma City. Got the racetrack off in the distance.
Horse racing. Complex, so there's multiple softball fields, some museums in the area.
Firefighters Museum across the street.
Science Museum.
Science Museum.
Bendo Mall.
40th anniversary of this Women's College World Series, dating back to 1982, and the very first title for UCLA, led by Debbie Doom. Janet Johns launches that one. Gone, home run, OU, the third of the night. Second of this World Series for Jana.
Look at the location, this changeup, and it's down. I mean, she goes down to get an off-speed pitch, 55 miles an hour. We heard actually as the Sooners were going the last inning, that changeup getting called from the dugout. And on this one, Janet Johns sits back, driving it out. Sooners keep it coming.
Well, you know, as a pitcher, when someone tees up on your off-speed pitch that well, they are that on time, they've got you picked.
Oh, and then they can come right back with the bunt. Bombs and bunts, Johns and Boone down the bottom.
And this is Ryla Boone's favorite thing to do. She says after a home run, which we're always doing, no one's ever expecting the bunt, and even though Boone does it beautifully, laying this one down, the speed and that 9-hole to roll it back up to the top. And Jada Coleman.
And they're so good at doing it on the first pitch as well.
Jada's 1
Hard
for
to
2.
defend.
Ball.
Jana's family got a Grand Slam home run ball in the opener here at the World Series, and now they get the solo shot. Attaboy. "12 home runs now in this Women's College World Series for Oklahoma. From 6 different hitters. Coleman pushed that right back to Hewlin. 2 down. And Jocelyn Allo coming up. Two for 2, a 2-run home run and a double. And the targets start showing up out there in the bleachers. Six consecutive hits over the last 2 games for Alo.
Get ball, get ball.
And she's on base again. Trae Young came to watch her swing. 2 Sooners on base with 2 outs for Tiare Jennings. Has homered in 3 of their 4 games here so far.
Ball.
Singled in the first, grounded to short in the second. Last game in the semis against UCLA, it was a 3-run shot.
Ball.
Such good takes. They pitches that are even close to the zone. They just are so silent with that foot down, eyes steadied.
Hey.
2-1. Single for Boone. Alo the free pass.
Ball.
And now it goes 3-1. 8 times already in this tournament. When Alo has gotten on base, Jennings has fouled her on base, including back in the first inning. Although Jossie wasn't there, she had hit a home run and already touched all 4 bases. Tiare Jennings lifts one. Left center, back it goes. Another 3-run home run. Double digits for OU.
And this is just power following power following power. We talked about the home run back to back to back. This is an inside pitch. This is exactly what she was waiting for. It's elevated, it's right at her belt, and she just gets all through it. On a 2-0, she watched a really good outside pitch. She didn't even wave at it. She didn't even attempt to go at it. She was waiting for that inside pitch. She got it. She turns on it, makes the adjustment, blasts it out of the yard for a big 3-run shot. Tiare Jennings getting it done and showing why she's one of the best hitting behind Jocelyn Alo. That's her 28th home run of the year.
4th home run through the first 3 innings for Oklahoma, and a 4th Texas pitcher coming on when we return. Ten to 1, Oklahoma with the lead over Texas here in the bottom of the 3rd. A couple of home runs this inning. It's their 2nd game in a row scoring in double digits after 15 yesterday, as Oklahoma now moves up into the 2nd spot behind last year's Sooner team. They now have 48 runs in the tournament. Of those teams on the board, Florida the only one that did not win the national championship. packed house here in Oklahoma City for game 1 of our championship series. And it's turned into a Sooner slugfest. Shea O'Leary is on to pitch and gets the final out. Grace Lyons retired, but 4 more runs in. Sooners are booming through 3.
Welcome back to the Women's College World Series presented by Capital One. A special moment right now on the field as they honor cancer survivors on our Strike Out Cancer Night. And Coach White, I see you holding a sign. Who are you honoring tonight?
It's my mother, Nari. She died of cancer and she was 53. So when I was about 21, I believe it was. Yeah, so a long time ago, but you know, she was a great person, great influence in my life, and I miss her a lot.
She was a softball player too, wasn't she?
She was. She was a catcher, so I never got to pitch to her, though.
Oh, all right. This is a tough score to talk about right now, Coach, but as the wheels kind of came off on that first inning, what did you say to your team when you gathered them around to try to get them back in this fight?
Well, you know, we've just got to show some fight a little bit. I mean, I think we're just rushing the game. We're letting the moment get the best of us, which we haven't done to this point, and we just want to rush things and just trying to get them to slow down. And the game's going to come to us, but right now we got our backs against the wall, obviously, and we got to show some fight and learn some stuff to hopefully come back tomorrow.
We've seen a lot of different pitchers. Estelle Check hasn't been one of those, despite her throwing well here. Are you saving her for tomorrow, or kind of what's the plan?
It looks that way, so, you know. But yeah, obviously, you know. So yeah, we got to come back tomorrow. We got to try and save our arms a little bit. I'm sure Dulcini will be ready to go. We got to look at it. We got to make some adjustments. Obviously, they're really tough. They're making adjustments. That's what makes them a great team.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.
You bet. Hook 'em.
Thank you very much, Holly. And Mike White trying to keep that positive attitude for his team. Best of 3 series as the Longhorns show their signs to who they are honoring. Always a great moment, whatever the sport, to see those cancer survivors out there on the field, and a terrific hand from the capacity crowd here in Oklahoma City. Well, and with the score the way it is as we move to the top of the 4th inning, and Mike talking to Holly, some thoughts start to turn for tomorrow. And Texas, look at that dynamite in elimination games this postseason, 6-0, which ties for the most in NCAA tournament history. And as we've talked about, they've been in must-win situations in the regionals in Seattle and the super regionals in Fayetteville. Had to come out of the losers bracket and win 3 elimination games already here at the World Series.
They love these moments. I mean, honestly, it's when they play their best. And for Mike White, I think that's where he was frustrated, is up until now, they have really lived on being the underdog. I mean, when the pressure has been off of them, it was the first time he kind of started to notice how tight they were getting.
Well, in game 1 of this series, it is an even series. Both teams are 0-0, so you know, maybe that little bit of the fighter mentality back up against the wall will appear tomorrow when, if they do drop this game, that they truly are backs up against the wall.
Here's the other thing, too, to consider from the Oklahoma side. There is no run rule in the championship series. So for Patty Gasso, you're not keeping Hope Troutwine in the game to try and end it early. And so at what stage might we see, do you just let Hope play it out and go the distance? Does she come back again tomorrow? Do you try and get Nicole May or Jordy Ball into this game with this big lead? Things to consider moving forward here tonight.
I think all great questions, Beth. Maybe I'll let her go through the lineup twice. You know, she's more than halfway there, so maybe give her another inning and then see if there aren't some other arms that she can get some work in.
2 hits thus far. The run given up in that first inning after the Bella Dayton double, and then 3 consecutive walks. Texas has had their chances. They have already left 5 on base, though. Bases loaded in the first, 2 on in the third.
Well, that's what they got to feel good about, is they've had success against Oklahoma offensively. They know that they can get to their pitching. They're very familiar with their pitching, and you know going into it you're going to give up runs. Obviously, you never want to go to the double digits, but for Texas today and moving forward, they can definitely visualize their offense against this pitching staff of Oklahoma.
Yeah, I think part of the question, too, for Oklahoma is how's Jordy Ball feeling after her appearance, having not thrown for almost a month. Nicole May roughed up a little bit. But, I mean, Hope Troutline's definitely the ace of the staff. It's just a matter of how long do you let her go. She's at mid-50 pitches, 55 pitches.
Facing the bottom of the order here, J.J. Smith. Got her to fly out with the bases loaded in the first. Strike across the inside corner. Second for Troutwine. One down. I'll be back here tomorrow for Game 2 of the Champ Series between Texas and OU. 7:30 Eastern on ESPN2. The If Necessary would be Friday, 8:30 Eastern on ESPN. Both those games also streaming live on the ESPN app. Pinch hitter here is Lou Gilbert in the 8th spot. Gilbert, junior out of Kansas City, Missouri, started her career at Baylor and now with Texas.
Hope continuing to use that rise ball underneath the hands. She's been efficient this evening with, we talked earlier, balls in play, 65% are lifted or pop outs. She's even higher than that. She's got the 8 pop-ups, just 1 ground ball out, just 2 strikeouts.
Yeah, the 1 ground ball was a bunt, so it was like an intentional, I'm trying to get on top
exactly,
of this
exactly.
and get it down.
Looking for her first hit of the postseason. Three and one. Obviously, Mike White also using the opportunity to get some of his other players some swings in the game. Got another pinch hitter on deck, Gilbert. Jennings will take it. 2 down. Here's Jordan Whitaker out of Jacksonville, Texas.
She came in against Hope Troutwine in their last matchup. She flew out as well, and I think that's going to be the biggest adjustment, is just understanding ball to strike, rise ball, when to take, which they did a great job of in the first inning. Took a lot of rise balls out of the zone. But now, and this is what happens when you feel that gap of a lead, you feel like, gosh, we got to really start getting base runners, and you start swinging at pitches you weren't even 2 innings ago.
Couldn't hold off the rise ball. 1-1. Patty Gasso will be talking with Holly Rowe coming up in the next half inning. Patty's 5 national championships, second only to Arizona's Mike Candrea and UCLA's Sharon Backus on the all-time list. Oh, there you go.
Yes.
All right. Good snag.
Lefty, too.
Yeah.
That'll get you an Usher high five.
Everybody.
Even with that wall in the way.
Watch her first step, too. I mean, she just immediately read this. She'll be here playing at the World Series.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Atta girl.
Impressive.
It's made her year.
Ball.
Full count from Troutwine. Did not go, so Whitaker at first base with 2 outs, and that'll turn it over to the top.
Fifth free pass given up by Troutwine. 4 walks and a hit by pitch.
Oh, beautiful overhead view.
Sold out crowd tonight. They came early.
Yep.
Hours before, lined up into the parking lot.
12,000 plus continue to show out. Record-breaking crowds all week here at the World Series. Jefferson's 0 for 2, a couple of flyouts to center.
This is a bat I'm waiting to get hot. We've talked so much about her. You forget that, you know, she really hasn't had the numbers we've seen all season long. It's been a quiet bat here at the World Series. For her standards, she's been hitting 230. She did have the big home run as one of her hits against Hope. Talked about growing up, watching Natasha Watley play at the World Series. An idol of hers. Got a picture with her when she was about 8 years old, which it made, she said it made her life. See someone that looked like her playing the sport, playing the infield and just absolutely crushing it. Now she knows that she's been that for college softball.
Fouls off the 1-2, even to her younger teammate, Alyssa Washington, who wanted to come to Texas to play in the same infield with Janae. Of course, the entire world was watching Odyssey Alexander here last year with James Madison out in the circle.
Ball.
2-2.
She got emotional talking to us about it too, and that really resonated with how much she understands her role while she's in it, which is so huge. All the success she's had at Texas, wants it to continue it here.
And Jennings goes up to get it. Her counterpart at second base snags it. Ends the inning for Oklahoma.
Sorry, Jennings, what can't you do? You already got a home run on the night. Watch her get up. Taking away a hit from one of the greatest in Texas history. Getting out, now Sooners pick up the bats.
Welcome back to the Women's College World Series presented by Capital One. Here with Oklahoma Sooners head coach Patty Gasso. And coach, early in this ball game, that first inning, you jumped on Texas. How did you see your hitters at the plate really taking those aggressive swings?
I think when they scored early, we felt like we just really wanted to punch back or show our attack, and kind of just got really infectious through the dugout.
Okay, I understand the score right now. This is not a run rule game, but how do you really tell your team to keep their foot on the gas and that championship mindset despite the big lead?
Yeah, you absolutely have to. You let off the gas or you sit back and think you got it made, that's when you get burned. So we're going to keep going, stay focused. It's good for us to see a lot of their pitchers as well. So we're going to keep learning as we go into tomorrow.
And then quickly, how long do you keep Hope Troutwine out there?
Well, no, she's doing really well. I don't want to show our hand either. So if she can finish this, we're going to try to do it.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
How about the home run swings? 4 of them so far, Jess.
Back in the first, Jocelyn Allo, and then followed up later in that inning, Taylon Snow, who had been struggling, and then Jana Johns kept it going. Tiara Jennings joining the party. Targets out in the outfield. Ready for another one.
So that ties a new record, most home runs in a single game here at the World Series from their number 2, number 3, number 7, and number 8 hitters. So All of them can take you deep. 5, 6, and 7. Here's Alyssa Brito. By the way, for Jocelyn Allo and Tiare Jennings with their home run balls tonight, they are now tied with a new World Series record for most RBI in a single series. They each have a dozen. Washington at short, 1 down. We've had this debate, Jess, if they do end up winning the national championship. They may not have the best record or the best win percentage ever, but that was from a bygone era. 1992 UCLA, phenomenal championship team, went 54-2, wiped everybody out at the World Series. Last couple of years, the Sooners have dropped a game here, but probably with much greater depth from top to bottom in the tournament.
And greater depth throughout the country. And
yeah.
Gosh, as great as those teams in the 90s. I mean, those are the teams
Powers.
that, the posters you loved.
Yeah.
The names, and you're right, the absolute talent. But what Oklahoma has done this year has been against more talent throughout the country. There's just better teams, and we saw it with 64. Every team in the tournament had a chance. Seeing it with Texas, the fact that they were unseeded and they're here. So when you go back to those 90s teams and you tip your hat, you think about the history and how great they were and are still in our history. Oklahoma, what they're doing now is against even better competition than we've ever seen.
And that's Lisa Fernandez, and that's Laura Espinosa and Jenny Finch on those great teams from the past.
And you just look at what their offense continues to do with the 10 runs today. That's now 563 runs on the year they've scored. They've given up with the 1 run today, just 60 runs. That's it, just 60 to their 563. It's mind-boggling. And the other thing they do so well, too, with their 9 hits, 3 are singles. 6 of them are extra base hits with the 4 home runs, 2 doubles. So it's like their power numbers, not just the home runs, it's just their power numbers in general. Over 42% of their hits are for extra bases.
Kinsey Hansen draws the 1-out walk. And Talon Snow, 1 for 2. The 3-run home run in the first, lined out to left in the third. Patty gives so much credit to her son, JT. The throw to second, and that will pull Washington off the base as they tried to get the lead runner, and they end up getting neither.
And this is just a slow developing play because of the way J.J. Smith fielded it, and probably just needs to step on the bag. But you can see the way she goes up and she thinks, oh, I'm going to go to first. And then because of the way she turns around, the throw over to second offline. And we mention all the time, it's hard enough to keep the Sooners off the board with their just 3 given outs. You give them a 4th or a 5th. And
well, especially with the score, right,
yes,
Michelle? I mean, at this point, you just want to get outs.
Yeah, that second out of the inning.
And we touched upon it early, too, that, the defense has been so good here. Only a couple of errors in their 5 games, much better than they were during the regular season. That is their 4th error of the game now tonight.
Well, and Coach said, Mike White said, we have to make the ordinary play.
And it will cost him. Johns goes the other way. Hansen to the plate. Another run on the board for the Sooners. Jana Johns, her 2nd RBI.
And how differently she does it. This is where I get so impressed. This is a pitcher's pitch off the plate, and Jana Johns, the coverage that she gets and the understanding of how long the ball has to travel to hit it to right field. Patty Gasso just told Holly Rowe, I mean, this is a team that cannot let off the gas, and honestly, they haven't all season long.
Mike White gets the entire team together, infield and outfield, for this conversation. And with that run coming in, they have now tied the record from last year's team with 49 runs scored here in OKC. Riley Boone was due up, but Grace Green will be the pinch hitter here in the 9 spot. Runners on the corners with 1 out. Shea O'Leary, the pitcher, the 4th of the night for Texas, to face Grace Green.
So infield for Texas going to stay deep, and again, just looking for those outs at this point.
Ball.
1 for 2 as a pinch hitter here at the World Series. Drove in a run. Washington has to charge over to first. Got her, but a run comes in as Talon Snow scores to make it a dozen. And there is a new World Series record. 50th run scored in their 5 games. Grace Green has her 2nd RBI of the World Series. Janet Johns scoots to 3rd. Score that one, a wild pitch. RBI opportunity for Coleman. Grounded to first. Smith stays down on it, side retired. 1 hit in the inning, but it's good enough to get a couple of runs across. 12-1, OU.
We were playing softball in February here in Clearwater. The amount of great matchups that we have, great teams here, are unparalleled. We have some of the best talent in the country. The best ticket, the hardest ticket to get in town. If you are a softball fan, this is a place that you want to be.
Well, we're back at it early next year in February, the 16th to the 19th. Coverage on ESPN of the Tax Act Clearwater Invitational, presented by Evo Shield. And we unveiled it today for you on social media. Here is the list of teams that will be in attendance. Alabama, Arizona, Florida State, UCLA amongst the list. Texas A&M, Michigan, all national champions over the years.
ACC champs. Oklahoma State, the Big 12 tournament champs. I mean, just a lot of depth there. Nebraska, Big 10. UCLA,
Yeah. Out west to Arizona.
It's going to be a great lineup. And it's February, and it's Florida, so come on.
It's always a good time.
Always
a good time. Well, and quite often a springboard.
Or for Texas, a wake-up call.
Yes.
0-5 in that tournament this year.
Yep. Started to get their act together shortly thereafter. 2, 3, and 4 here. Mia Scott 0 for 2. Hope Troutwine, we heard Patty tell Holly Rowe that she's been slinging it pretty good. They may try and just keep her out there. And
Yep.
go for the win. And then, interesting though, she said we don't want to tip their hand for tomorrow. Does that mean there might be a Ball or May sighting?
Maybe so, maybe so. Well, and in years past when she had Kaylani Ricketts, she pitched in game 2, Michelle Gascoigne. So, a lot of people think, oh, you're going to come right back with your ace. There's Jordy Ball out there working out or warming up. I'm not sure which one that is.
The freshman sensation who suffered a forearm injury late in the season, missed about a month, has made a couple of appearances here.
Wouldn't be surprised to see her tomorrow. I feel like that's why Hope Troutwine is being left out there.
Yeah.
Because I think man, she's got all the drills.
Fading foul.
Because I think if Hope was going to start tomorrow, I mean, Patty would have pulled her by now, so Texas is not getting so many looks. When we saw Jordy Ball last, she looked good. The only question was how she felt the next day, but now she's had a few days.
Well, it would certainly appear that she's thinking about getting in there tonight. Again, no run rule, so they will play this out to the finish. Oh, up and a miscue. The outfielders, Brito and Coleman, were both looking at each other, expecting the other one to make the catch. And Mia Scott standing at second base.
This is a rare miscue for Oklahoma, usually incredibly aggressive, and Jada Coleman was calling it, and then she kind of pulled up. I don't know if she heard Brito or if she's calling to her to catch it, but Brito had stopped. Normally you see them both coming in aggressive and kind of fighting each other as the error goes to Brito.
Bella Dayton with a pair of extra base hits tonight.
And I'm sure that's the type of miscommunication that Patty will talk with the team about. Obviously, a game like this where they're up by 11 runs, it doesn't do a ton of damage, but that happens in a big game when it's zip or you're up by a run. I mean, that can be catastrophic.
Well, especially because of how many fans are here. I mean, at the end of the day, you're not playing in front of 12,000 fans ever. And so it's loud. So you've got to practice that communication. We've seen it happen here quite a bit. The Women's College World Series with just communication having to be loud, on the same page, understanding each other.
And a lot of outfield errors in this particular World Series.
Hanson will go up, clarify with Troutwine.
She always has a smile on her face, and I know it helps to have a 12 spot on the board on the flip side, but even sitting down and talking to her, she is a happy person. I call her the heart of this staff. The staff that really feeds off each other between her, Nicole May, and Jordy Ball.
Well, she kept playing with North Texas against Oklahoma and kept doing well against them. Impressed Patty Gasso, said she was a force every time we faced her. And then what you love to hear from a lot of these transfers from a smaller school to a bigger school, I got one last chance to play in the show, and I got to take it. I got to go for it. And you come to Oklahoma for a chance like tonight if you're Hope Troutwine. Two to Dayton. Coleman sizing it up. Got it. And let's go to Holly Rowe with a special guest. Well, they're going to throw it into the infield, and sliding in safely at third base is Mia Scott. Holly?
Well, here's someone who knows a little something about defense. New Oklahoma football coach Brent Venables, longtime defensive coordinator. And coach, you've been out at the Sooner ballpark throwing out the first pitch for softball. How would you describe this program that Patty Gasso's built?
It's intimidating. Are you kidding me? I had a chance to speak to the girls. I was just going to throw the pitch out, and then somebody asked me to go in and speak to the girls. I'm like, what am I going to tell them? That's like it's like marrying Oprah. Like, what are you going to give them that they don't already have? And but they're addicted to winning, and they've been the example in college softball. Coach Gasso and her program, her coaches, and so I'm trying to learn how to win at the highest level like they have. They're as good as there's been in a long time. Maybe the most dominant collegiate team in any sport ever. And so it's pretty cool to be a bird on the wall.
I know one of your quarterbacks, Dylan Gabriel, your high-profile recruit from UCF, he's here. He's friends with Jocelyn Allo from Hawaii.
Yeah, I told all the players to come watch these girls, how they compete, how they win, how they fight, how they play together. It's really inspiring. The energy, it's very infectious. You know, it's very contagious. And so I told all the players, like, this is how you win at the highest level right here. Come watch this.
Well, a dominant performance. Thank you so much, Coach Venables. And your first pitch at softball, it was pretty good. Your arm was decent.
No doubt it was a strike. I got to work on my velocity, but it was a strike.
All right, he'll get the velo up. All right, can't wait to see you this fall for Oklahoma. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Good to see the football coach out here supporting the Sooner softball team. Mary Iacopo up a couple outs, and Mia Scott at third base trying to get another run in. If they do win another national championship, it would be a 5th in 9 years for OU. So that domination that Venables talked about, they are getting it done. 12-1, and Allo and Jennings are coming back up for the Sooners in Game 1 of the Champ Series. Jocelyn Allo, a 2-run home run in the first, and her running mate Tiare Jennings, a 3-run shot in the third. They have been tearing through opposing pitchers throughout the season, and look at what they have done now. Allo is the all-time home run queen and closing in on the RBI record. Her first 2 seasons, epic, and believe it or not, Tiare Jennings' first 2 seasons, even better numerically.
Wow, that's kind of scary.
It'll be fun to follow her going forward. But who's going to protect her? Because Jocelyn has had Tiare behind her the last 2.
Agreed.
She's been getting pitched to.
Tiare at some point was also hitting in the leadoff spot, obviously doing a good job as well in that spot protecting Allo. So it's always interesting to me how much of a difference that makes, Jess, when you have that power behind power. And you force coaches, pitchers to make decisions.
Yeah.
Because you want someone at first base standing there every single time. So you got to force someone to go into runner in scoring position, and then the power that's been behind her. I remember having Crystal Bustos hit behind me, and I loved it. Lots of strikes.
Yeah, a lot more pitches.
Allo gets a hold of another one deep into the night, and it goes yard again. Career number 122 for Jocelyn Allo.
You know, when you look at the pitch location of the 3 hits that she's had tonight, 2 of them home runs. I mean, the first home run was in off the plate on her hands, and this one up and away. But the power to all fields truly is the case for Jocelyn Allo. Every pitch she can hit that far and further. But we've seen, I mean, obviously so many home runs over the course of her career, but there's no zone. It's a cold zone.
Yeah, even change of speeds. Don't fool her. She hits change-ups out of the yard.
Does Jennings follow suit? Yes, she does. Back-to-back jacks for Allo and Jennings.
And Beth and Jess, we were just talking about their power, their back-to-back ability to leave the yard. This one on a changeup, as we were just saying, how Alo can hit bombs to any field, any velocity. And then Tiare Jennings toes up and blasts a 57-mile-an-hour changeup out to dead center. Not pulled, weighted to dead center. Her second home run of the game as well, 28 and 29 for the amazing sophomore.
Four home runs for Alo and Jennings. And Taylon Snow and Jana Johns also with home runs. Here's Grace Lyons, an RBI single in the second.
Ball.
11 of their 14 runs courtesy of the long ball. One of the great combos of all time. They've known each other for a while, haven't they, Holly?
That's right. It's no surprise that they have such great chemistry. They've known each other since Tiare was about 9 years old. Here they are running foul poles as bat busters, and they have had such a great connection. They're both of Polynesian descent. They said they had that connection, and Jennings looked up to Alo so much. Now, Alo didn't impact the recruiting decision, but Tiare said, I just wanted to be somewhere where she was. I've admired her for so long. And when I asked them, are you two the best back-to-back hitting combo that we've ever seen in college softball history? And Jocelyn Alo didn't skip a beat and said, yes.
Lyons grounds it to second. Jefferson is there. One down.
Well, and Tiare talked about, too, I mean, obviously she had the talent coming in. See the home run ball. I mean, they just, you need to bring the dresser out to Oklahoma City with the amount of home runs they've been collecting, and that's...
Oh, the dads are going back-to-back just like the daughters.
So good. It's just cool to hear them talk together, to have them sit next to each other and talk about how much they learn from one another, how much they've helped each other. And Tiare talked about just the mind of Jocelyn. Because, you know, Tiare had all the talent in the world, but she's like, I would sit down and she would talk to me about, hey, it wasn't that pitch that you hit. What was the pitch you got before it? Understand how pitchers work, how sequencing works, pitch calling works, just going that other level. Look at the course, their career this year, the Women's College World Series, 625. This year, those two together.
10 home runs.
In a strange twist, no pun intended. It was 3 years ago that Oklahoma was on the losing side of a 16-3 loss to UCLA, the worst loss in championship series history. Flash forward to tonight. 16 runs, by the way, is the most scored in a champ series game. And now here they are on the opposite side of that, 14-1. Again, no run rule, so they've got at least one more at bat to follow this one. And there's only one out here for Alyssa Brito. 20th time this year, by the way, Sooners have hit back-to-back home runs in a game. 5th time this year, the team has hit 6 home runs in a game. Their record this year is 7 of them in a win over Texas Tech.
Ball.
It is a home run display unlike any other we've seen here.
Ball.
And all year long, they've scored the lion's share of their runs via the long ball. I think it's about 48%. They're obviously here in the World Series well above that. 60% of the runs in the NCAA tournament are via the home run ball. 60%.
Scott tried to knock it down, and Brito will race to second. All right, so here's the home runs again. Allo and Jennings.
It's interesting because their swings so similar, and you gotta love the dads. Back to back. How close their families have gotten, going back to when they were young bucks. All that travel softball, you know you're bonding.
So Allo, by the way, now has passed Addison Barnard at Wichita State and is leading the country in home runs this season. Jennings not too far behind. And there's Grace Lyons, the third member of their 20 home run party this year. Grace with 22. Speaking of 22, here's Lindsay Elam, and it's through the wickets. And another run will score. Nope, they're going to call that a foul ball and bring it back.
Yeah, that's a good call.
No doubt.
Texas gets a break on this one. It's a ball that Mia Scott, saw her struggle, hard hit one, bounced off her previous bat.
Oh-2 to Elam. Got her to chase. 2 down. Second strikeout for Texas pitchers tonight. All 9 in the batting order have reached base. 7 have scored. 4 have hit home runs. Sophia Nugent is going to be the pinch hitter. Seal Beach, California, the freshman, her first at-bat in her World Series debut.
Ball. Ball.
That's in for a strike. 2-1.
Ball.
3-1. Back-to-back home runs. Jocelyn Allo, Tiare Jennings here in the 5th. Brito with the double out at second base.
Ball.
And Nugent draws the walk. Here's Janet Johns in the 8 spot. Got hit by a pitch in the first. Solo home run in the third. And the RBI single going the opposite way in the fourth. Johns to Washington, over to first. Side retired, but a couple of long balls for the Sooners going back to back.
Jocelyn Allo, the home run queen, with the solo shot going yard on the pitch up in the zone. And how about Tiare Jennings, the fabulous sophomore, hugging it out at home. Back-to-back jacks for the best hitters in the game.
Let's take a look at our game track, brought to you by Enterprise. 14-1. Top-seeded Oklahoma beating Texas here in game 1, the best of 3. And for the Longhorns, it's been a rough one. The Sooners have been bashing balls all over the park, out of the park. Jocelyn Allo with 2, Tiare Jennings with 2. 6 total for the Sooner Swingers. And the pitching change here, Nicole May will come on. Lindsey Elam is the new catcher, so a new battery for OU.
Opportunity to get May some more innings. Had a rough outing against UCLA. So opportunity to try to get comfortable in that circle.
Most importantly, keep hope for tomorrow.
Ball.
It's interesting when you go back and you look at the scorecard for Oklahoma too. Their home runs are in 2 home runs in the first, 2 home runs in the third, 2 home runs in the fifth.
Courtney Day, the RBI walk in the first, and then a deep fly ball in the third almost got out of here. 7 left on base today for Texas, and I hope you guys haven't been on the wrong side of a situation like this, but what do you do to try and get through tonight and then to try and come back and prepare for a new day tomorrow if you're Texas?
When you flush it, and as easy as that sounds, I mean, it's something that you try to learn now from every opportunity you're getting. So obviously when Hope was in the game, you're taking those at-bats thinking about tomorrow. You're thinking about how this can help you. My biggest concern is the defense, is them being able to pull together and regroup, because that's, I feel like when they were losing games early in the season, it was because of that. But this is a team that can come out and be a very different team tomorrow as long as they can flush it today.
Yeah, absolutely. And from the Olympic team, the flush it is always what we used. In fact, I think even on the 7 Innings podcast one time, I had that little toilet.
Yes, you did. Yes,
you
did.
Yeah. And we actually carried that with us in the Sydney Olympics. So
you guys would take that with you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, everybody had one.
Like a little mini toilet.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, was that the Olympics that you guys lost?
Yes, we did. We lost
3 days in a row?
3 consecutive games, yes.
And then came back to win gold.
And came back to win the gold medal. So, yeah.
Whole
lot of flushing
going on.
Plunging, flushing, whatever you want to call it. It was just, yeah.
And line crossed.
Yeah, but in all seriousness, you know, I think it's a team meeting for Texas to say, all right, this game is over. Yeah. You know, short memory, can't do anything about it. What can we do to be better tomorrow? And absolutely the ordinary plays that Coach talked about.
Yep. And I will say this, after Oklahoma 3 years ago lost to UCLA 16-3 in game 1, game 2 was a 1-run game, and that was the thrilling walk-off. Kinsley Washington got the dub in a 1-run game. So Courtney Day struck out by Nicole May. Mayday there, 1 down.
Well, the beauty is everyone that's played this game knows that, knows the difference of 24 hours. You come back the next day and it doesn't matter. they could score 20 runs, and none of those carry on to tomorrow.
And Jess, you know what it's like too when you're playing an opponent like this, where everything is going their way, especially the hits. We're like, that's it. They've used all their hits up. There's none left in those bats. You know, whatever. You say anything you can to get yourself in a good position.
J.J. Smith, the base hit. Texas still obviously has to hit here in the 6th, and then again in the top of the 7th. The Sooners would have one more at bat. Lou Gilbert. Second at bat for Lou, popped to second in the 4th. Something for the Longhorns to grab hold of.
Ball.
The only time that Oklahoma has lost back-to-back games in their World Series history have been in championship series. 2012 to Alabama, 2019 to UCLA. Slow roller to first. Snow steps on the base to get one. Smith over to second. One of the things we love about the growth of the game. So many folks out there watching the World Series, the Championship Series. How about Dick Vitale? OMG, the power of OU softball. Allo and Jennings, unbelievable. Coach Venables here tonight as well. Trey Young here. P.T. Pierce, baby! shout out to Dickie V, and so glad he is healthy again here on a night where we celebrate everybody's fight against cancer.
Strike it out.
Glad that he's enjoying the action tonight. Well, and no matter who you are in the sporting world, I think everybody can applaud greatness as you witness it. And also a lot of folks out there probably rooting for Texas to hit back a little bit tomorrow night. See how it plays out. Again, they are 6-0 in this postseason in elimination games. They have been, as they are self-proclaimed, the most dangerous team in America. Upsets over 4 seeded teams with upsets over 4 All-American pitchers to get into this final.
And they've beat Oklahoma, and they know that. Beat them earlier this season. They were the first team to do it when they were on a consecutive winning streak.
And beat them the day after they got run ruled by Oklahoma.
Yes. Oh, see what you did there.
See what I did. That'll get brought up in the meeting.
Ball.
Three-two pitch.
Ball.
And Whitaker able to draw the walk. Well, here is a list of those pitchers that they have beaten en route, being the first unseeded team to get here to the championship series. Gabby playing in Washington, Shanice Dels, Arkansas. Those were both on the road. And then here at the World Series, wins over Megan Faremo and Kelly Maxwell.
Conference pitchers of the year. I mean, it's what they've done. Actually, the role that Texas has really enjoyed being in. And done it better than any team we've seen in the World Series.
Hang on.
Chris Neighbors, Paul Eds, Leah Bowen, Ron Burkhardt are umpires tonight. One to Janae Jefferson.
Look at the offense for Texas. They've had runners on every inning except the second. It's the only inning they went down in order. They've just left a lot of runners on base.
7 total. We've got 2 opportunities here.
Janae looking for her first hit of the night.
Of course, now we're seeing the reverse. When Hope was in there, everything was in the air and fly balls. And now even this at bat, Janae Jefferson, Nicole May down, knees are below. It's a bunch of fouled off ground balls.
We're back up the middle. They'll go the short way to get the force out at second. 3 outs away from a win in game 1 for the Sooners. Alo will swing it when we come back.
The NCAA Women's College World Series is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Here's to the present.
Alo gets a hold of one, and Oklahoma grabs the lead. Jerry Jennings, left center, back it goes. Another 3-run home run.
One step away to becoming champions.
An impressive game 1 for the Oklahoma Sooners. 6 home runs and a 14-1 lead, and now they have set a new record for most runs scored in World Series history. 36 of those from their home runs. And this is back-to-back games now. Their last 2 games, a 15-0 win over UCLA in the semis and a 14-1 lead over Texas. 29 runs in a national semifinal and a final. Boone, Coleman, and Alo would be due up, but we may see some pinch hitters. Texas will be down to their final at-bat in the 7th inning. Riley a walk in the first, singled and score in the 3rd. She was pinch hit for in the 4th and has re-entered. Tariah Coleman will be the pinch hitter for Jada Coleman as the top of the order swings back around. Riley Boone rips one out to right. On base for the 3rd time tonight. Let's send it down to Holly.
Well, Riley Boone's such a great addition to this Sooners team. She's from Owasso, which is about an hour and a half northwest of here. And when Patty Gasso was recruiting her, Riley Boone was pitching for her high school team. And to put it kindly, they weren't very good. And even though the teammates were making errors and making mistakes and things were falling apart around Riley Boone, Patty Gasso saw how she would uplift her teammates. You've got this, you've got this. The positive attitude she had. She would never dismiss or discourage the teammates around her. And she said, I fell in love with that kid right then. She knew that that kind of positive spirit and good teammate was somebody that she needed on this team. And Riley Boone has become a great leader for this team. She is constantly positive and uplifting just what Patty saw in that young high school player.
And she is the party starter. I mean, she's very encouraging, and love the way that, she just looks into the dugout when something happens.
She talked about, too, how important it is for her to say her goals out loud. And so she would even sometimes 2 days before be like, I'm going to get a bunt base hit the first at bat of my next game. And say it out loud with conviction. And how much that changed her game.
Yeah. And Patty was like, okay, all right, All right. She likes to tell me all the time, is what Coach said. She likes to tell me what she's going to do.
Some people call their home runs. Some call their bunts. Taria Coleman is the pinch hitter here. She had a home run. Why not? Everybody else is getting them against Prairie View earlier in this NCAA tournament. Just speaks to the strength up and down the lineup in batting practice every day. People that they can pull out of the dugout to pinch hit for them. And it's the standard, right? A lot of this is, I don't want to let my teammates down. I don't want to let the other players that wore this jersey before me down.
It's not keeping up with the Joneses, it's keeping up with the Sooners.
O'Leary gets the strikeout. Second of the night for Shea. And Alo will step up to the plate again. Two-run home run, solo home run, a double, and a hit by pitch. So that is 8 straight plate appearances that she has reached base in the last 2 games. All coming after a crucial strikeout in a semifinal loss to UCLA. Alo got back to work.
Well, it's such an example of response to failure. I mean, they lost that game, and that was the moment. Alo was up to bat with a chance to win the ball game. She strikes out. Holly Acevedo walking off. I mean, that's the thing. They come back the next game. Jocelyn Alo, not 1 but 2 home runs, a grand slam. I mean, she didn't feel sorry for herself. She learned from it, moved on.
4 home runs in her last 2 games. That got me thinking, guys.
Uh-oh.
She's hit the home run cycle the last 2 games. Solo, 2-run, 3-run, grand slam. Yep. I don't know if there's another name for that, but.
I think home run cycle does it, but. Wow.
Hit me. Be careful what you wish for. And the dirt under her feet.
Wow, she did a good job of avoiding that. Getting another pitch. She almost got hit by that.
I feel like even if she did, she'd be like, no. It didn't hit me.
Just dancing.
Oh! Nutmegged.
That's how well she sees the ball.
3-2 pitch.
Ball.
And she'll take the walk. Fifth time she has been on base tonight. Hey, coming up after the game, Sports Center with Scott Van Pelt. Live post-game coverage. Game 3 of the NBA Finals, Warriors and Celtics tonight. And the promo says the biggest hits from the College World Series. I think there's 6 of them this evening that they might talk about. Much, much more. Sports Center with SVP after the game right here on ESPN and the ESPN app. Some of the folks still sticking around. I'll watch Tiare Jennings step back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 of 9 plate appearances for Jennings and Alo that they've reached base tonight. Mike White out to speak with O'Leary. Of course, these two programs, it's the third time since 2005 that two schools from the same conference have played for the national championship. In a couple of years' time, they'll be going from the Big 12 to the SEC, 2 or 3 years. And then they will join a conference that sent 12 teams to this year's NCAA tournament, 12 of the 13.
Only one made it here.
Yeah. Jennings, base hit. Here comes Boone. Alo will stop at third. RBI Tiare. Single, double, and 2 home runs for Jennings tonight. And here's Grace Lyons. Washington checks the runners. 2 down. "15 runs on 15 hits, 6 of them home runs. A pair from Jennings, a pair from Alo, and batting .462 with runners in scoring position. Impressive evening at the plate. This is a glimpse, by the way, of what some of those regular season games may have looked like. As you mentioned earlier, Jess, 40-run rule wins. They've lost about 80 innings of play because they've run rule teams. So that's like 10 more games, statistically, that some of their hitters and pitchers could have been a part of.
Yeah, it does make you wonder how many more home runs potentially would Jocelyn and Alo have if they would have had those extra at-bats.
Jennings, by the way, just took the RBI World Series record to herself. She's got 13 now to Alo's 12. And Brito will get another one in. Alo scores. And Oklahoma has now tied the single game Champ Series record with 16 runs.
Brito, gosh, the way they stay inside out, the ball. I mean, this is what so many of the right-handed batters do unbelievably well, especially 2 outs right here, just pounding it up the middle. We saw Tiare Jennings, her base hit up the middle. They can hit the long ball, but they can also just shorten up and find grass.
All the Sooners have driven in a run or scored a run. Foul territory. J.J. Smith's got it. Last at-bat coming up for Texas as the Sooners close in on a Game 1 win here in the best-of-3 Champ Series. Time now for the Capital One rewarding performance. Aloha for Jocelyn Alo. 2 home runs. A new World Series record with 5 runs scored. Tiare Jennings also hit 2 out. and has 6 RBI in the ballgame. Incredible duo, 7 for 8 with the 4 homers, 8 RBI, and 8 runs in the ballgame. And now 3 outs away from a Game 1 win. Victory here means Oklahoma, they win tomorrow night. They are the national champions for the 6th time. Texas would have to win tomorrow to force a Game 3, 1 down. Bella Dayton, 2 for 3, couple of doubles.
Ball.
75% of the teams that have won Game 1 have gone on to win the title. 12 times in 16 years. Nicole May, 2 down. Alyssa Washington, and the last chance for Texas. Sooner fans on their feet. Hope Troutwine's going to pick up the win tonight. Get to 6-0 in the NCAA tournament. Her 4th win here at the World Series. And the bats to back her up. Boone's got it, ball game. And the championship series opener goes to Oklahoma. They tie a champ series record with 16 runs scored.
It's crazy to think Texas got on the board first. They scored that 1 run in the top of the 1st inning, and we're like, here we go, gonna get a game. But Oklahoma's response, as they always do, 5 runs in that 1st inning, 11 more the rest of the game.
Just the display of average and power showing up in the biggest game of the year. It just shows how talented they are.
16 runs on 16 hits, 6 of those home runs. We are back here tomorrow night for Game 2 of the championship series, Oklahoma and Texas, 7:30 Eastern on ESPN2. Coming up next at Sports Center with SVP. For our entire crew, I'm Beth Mullins, Jessica Mendoza, Michelle Smith, Holly Rowe. On to SVP, and then we're back here tomorrow night for more softball.